Hello, this is Edwin Epperson, and I would like to take some time today to briefly explain private lending. Before we get to the ins and outs, I wanted to explain that we are in the greatest transfers of wealth in our lifetime, and there is a way for you to tap into that and not be left looking at your financial situation like so many did this past decade. You see, you need to set yourself up for success and know that there is a better way to invest for your family and for your financial future. So what are some of the pros and cons of being the master of your own wealth? Let's take a quick look. You see, when most people think of investing, they think of a few well-known methods. People like us invest heavily in the stock market. It is the most well-known and widely advertised. People like us invest in property. We are all aware of the intrinsic value of real property. People like us also invest in collectibles. These can include baseball cards, antiques, art, and coins, the latter being the most well-known due to advertising. So what are the pros and cons? Well, let's look at the pros. Investing carries the excitement of potential huge gains. We have all heard the story from our not-so-grounded uncle, spouting how he should have bought Apple stock when it was 38 cents. We all have an understanding that most investments grow in the long term, and that these investments always go up in value. Each of these well-known methods offer a wide variety of options to invest in, and in most cases, these methods you can leverage your money to buy or even sell more than you own or control. Most of these methods have tangible assets. You may say, wow, that looks great. Well, just like anything that you study or look at, let's not go chasing fantasies just yet. Let's take a look at the cons. Remember, you always cover your downside, and the upside will always take care of itself. Just like there is a reaction for every action, there are cons for every pro. There is potential loss for every investing method. Your gains may not be realized as soon as you expect. Let's think years. There could be volatility, a lot or a little, over a long period or a short period. There may be too many options. You just may not know what to invest in. If you utilize leverage, the same way that it can exponentially magnify profits, it can exponentially magnify losses. And, above all else, you must master the technique. Now, there is a common theme among these methods. All of them require knowledge on your behalf. To just invest in a property or a stock or some collectible because crazy Uncle Charlie said it was a sure thing is not wise, nor is it a mark of sophistication. Now, because of these reasons, that's why so many of us have turned to investment firms, or we just invest in our company's 401k plan. We ask a realtor friend, what property would they invest in? Or we trust William Devane from Roslyn Capital, and we simply buy coins. So we trust someone whom we've never met personally to invest in a method we don't understand, probably because it's too complicated. They have control of our hard-earned savings or retirement. And in most cases, we are banking or planning on the asset to go up in value in the future. Think of it more like gambling. After hearing all this, you may be thinking, is there a better way to invest? We believe there is. Since we are looking at private lending, let's take a look at some of the advantages that it offers. It puts you in a much safer position than only stock market investing. You have control of your retirement or cash accounts, meaning you never give that control to anyone else. And your returns are not numbers on a screen that you hope stay that way until you retire. They are tangible and measurable gains today. So a quick review. Private lending is a more safe investment strategy than others. Private lending offers you, the investor, complete control of your cash, savings, or retirement accounts. And private lending is measurable, meaning every month you can see actual real money that you can use today. Welcome to the world of private lending. You see, in private lending, you make money like the bank, meaning You lend your money in the form of a loan to someone else at a set rate. And your money is secured to the property, actual, tangible, real property, with a mortgage or a deed of trust. And every month, you sit back and receive passive monthly income checks into whatever account you lent from. This could include a savings, a checking, or even a retirement account. You may be thinking, well, Eddie, what type of returns are we getting in private lending? That is a great question, and I'm glad you asked. Let's compare private lending to an investment that is comparably as safe as a bond or CD. So what interest rate would you get from a CD from your bank? 10%? Maybe 6%? Or how about 3%? No? Well, then how much are you getting? So as of the summer of 2014, you'll be lucky to get more than 1.5%. So let's take that and multiply it by 4. Well, that would give you a total of 6%. And if you multiplied that by 6, that would give you 9%. Can we do better in private lending? Absolutely. Remember, in private lending, you make money and the rules just like the banks. You may be thinking, okay, that's great, Eddie, but I have money in the stock market, not a CD or a bond. I've got over 25% return this year. That's incredible, and I'm excited for you that you're making those returns. As a matter of fact, I've earned pretty good returns too. So both of our average in, let's say, the past 3 years has been pretty high. I'd go as far as to say around an average of 15% return. But remember, we are talking long-term growth here, not short, volatile gains followed by extreme losses. As a matter of fact, Robert Schiller with Yahoo Finance recently stated, from 1871 to 2014, the stock market has had an inflation-adjusted annualized return rate of between 6 and 7%. So the real question to ask is, over the last 10 years, what have we seen? 4 to 7% is what the analysts say. You see, with private lending, we are getting consistent year-over-year returns, and it's not volatile. It's backed by real assets that aren't going anywhere. Now, you're right. Private lending investing is not a roller coaster ride. Yet, if I wanted to have fun, I would go to a theme park, not ride the stock market with my family's future. You may say, but Eddie, I know nothing of private lending, how it works, or where even to start. Well, you've actually started to do that now. By allowing me to talk to you for a few short minutes, you've opened your mind to the possibilities of all the incredible opportunities that private lending has to offer. Well, how does private lending work? Well, simple. Actually, it's very simple. Let's take rehabber Joe Schmo. He buys properties at deep discounts. He's our favorite borrower. And we have a whole list of do's and don'ts. They are called our underwriting criteria and our policies, and we never ever break these. You see, the banks did this last decade. They broke their underwriting criteria and their policies, and therefore that's why we have all these foreclosures that Joe buys. So one criteria is we never lend more than 65% loan to value, which means Joe wants to buy a house for $200,000. We would not lend more than $130,000 on that property. So that means we have a $70,000 cushion, known as protective equity. And this is why with private lending you actually have more control. You can have more equity in a property, thus reducing your risk. As long as Joe owns the rehab, we get our monthly checks, which is cash flow. If he decides not to pay, okay, great. We get a $200,000 property for $130,000. With this example, it is clear to see the more safe and secure investment is private lending. You have the knowledge to start now, and as you can tell, it is a simplified process. You may be thinking, but that sounds like a lot of work, time, and I wouldn't even know where to begin finding borrowers like this. That's why I have an incredible team, and I have been putting them together to work with us to make this process easier. You see, the key player on our team is a broker. And the reason is that they know the documents and they know how to fill them out. And they have consistent deals coming through their office, and they know the local, state, and federal laws. We have a title company to ensure we are in the safest position possible on any loan. They also can open escrow. Therefore, they are able to handle the money and the paperwork to ensure everything is filed and recorded as necessary. We also have a real estate attorney to initiate foreclosure in the rare case that a borrower stops paying. We have a servicing company that handles disbursement of all monies to anyone involved on any loan. They also provide paperwork for your taxes at the end of the year. And last but not least, we have appraisers and real estate brokers to help us determine the true value of our collateral on any given loan. Do you see? I have an entire team behind me, and they are wanting to get behind you to ensure that you take this opportunity of a lifetime. Do you know of anyone who would love to earn passive income without any extra work? To have their money in as safe a position as possible while earning incredible returns? Do you know someone who would love to become a partner investor with me in this incredible business? If so, here's my contact information. And there is so much more I'd love to talk to you about private lending. Thank you for your time. May all your ventures be prosperous. This document is for information and illustrative purposes only and does not purport to show actual results. It is not and should not be regarded as investment advice or as a recommendation regarding any particular security or course of action. Opinions expressed herein are current opinions as of the date appearing in this material only and are subject to change without notice. Reasonable people may disagree about the opinions expressed herein. In the event any of these assumptions used herein do not prove to be true, results are likely to vary substantially. All investments entail risk.